We've seen how to create haze either just by adjusting the haze parameter or through the old school technique of using standard fog based upon distance from the camera. But we can also play around with the advanced parameters of MR sky. Most specifically, we've got the red-blue tint just here. So we've got a nice rendering here of a sunset. If we wanted to have a redder sky, we could just push this towards red. So positive values for this red-blue tint will send the sky color towards red. So with a value of 1, we should get a much redder scene here. Okay, so we got really quite orange looking rendering. If we push this towards negative values, that's going to be bluer. So if we give it a -1 and do a rendering, it should be quite a lot more blue. Additionally, we can also play with the saturation, as you can see here. I'll set it back to 0, to neutral. Another really nice thing that we can do is use aerial perspective. So aerial perspective is the effect that objects in the distance appear more blue because of haze in the air. Now, this is maybe a little bit confusing because aerial perspective will have an effect even if haze is completely turned off. So aerial perspective is on by default, and it has a visibility of something in the neighborhood of 30,000 feet. And what this is actually saying is, at a distance of 30,000 feet, we will get approximately 10% haze. If it were 100% haze, then it would be completely occluding the view. Well, 30,000 is usually too high, so I'm going to bring this quite a lot down, maybe 5,000. So at about a distance of about a mile, we'll have 10% haze if the haze value is set to 0. So this is kind of strange. Haze is set to 0, but if aerial perspective is on, then we'll still get haze. And remember that I modeled my plane to be about 1 mile square, so we're getting just a little bit of haze there now. So if I want to make that more dramatic, I can set this to a value of, let's say, 1,000 feet. Very cool. And remember, of course, that you can also play around with the parameters of MR Sky by going to the Environment dialog and opening up the Material Editor and dragging the map into a slot of the Material Editor and choosing Instance. And in fact, here you can actually go in and create maps for your ground plane or for the color of the haze and so on. So you can have a lot of fun with this. You can even map this red-blue tint factor. And those are just a few things you can play around with. But the MR Physical Sky obviously gives you very good results very quickly if you don't have time to create your own environments.